Well, here I am at Loris Lake, and I'm sort of windbound. There's enough waves out there to keep me off the water. It's a layover day. I had wanted to fish today, but I don't know. It's probably not a bad thing. I'm pretty whooped. I haven't taken a day off since I started this trip. Been always doing something, so I thought when I'm sitting here in camp, I'm going to go through my fishing stuff to so I can remember everything that I brought, and to show some people maybe a different way of doing things. I do things a little bit differently. I think that you can catch some really big fish out here, but I think you have to offer them what they want. You know, a big 14, 20 pound pike is not going to chase a little lure unless you bop them on the nose with it. But you present the right thing, and you might get two or three in one day. I'll go through the rods and reels first. Uh, this is a Revo Toro, and it's just an excellent. Garcia makes this just excellent. I love this handles. Handles great. It casts fantastic. It's not exceptionally heavy or large. Right now I've got it with 65 pound Power Pro, and I've got this is just a Bass Pro Shop muskie rod. About $100 to get the rod, but it does a real nice job handling this stuff. Now what I've got here is, right now I'm on a point that's got a lot of shallow water, a lot of weeds that extend way out. This is a big tooth um, spinner bait, and it just grinds right through those weeds, man. Just bumps stuff out of the way, makes a bunch of racket, and that's kind of what I brought it. I didn't think to be fishing in the weeds that much, but I'm glad I have it because I can fish here with it. It's really a nice spinner bait. I really like it. I've got the spinner bait itself hooked up with about, well, right now it's less than probably about 4 feet of 100-pound fluorocarbon, pink fluorocarbon. I had it started out about 8 feet of it, but I keep retying and using it up. It's just a better presentation than a wire leader or even a short piece of leader, you know, just a little bit. What's nice about this is I use a FG knot and attach it. This knot will go right through my guides, right onto my spool, and does not infringe on my casting whatsoever. Um, it's a very trim knot. I do highly recommend it. What's nice about having such a long leader length, first of all, I think it's you know, a little less going on for the fish to notice. But part of the reason I really like it is when I get one of these bigger pike, I'm not going to lift it in the boat. A little solo, a tandem boat, yeah, you can grab them behind the gill plate and lift them in. But a little solo boat, you're out there, it's just not worth it to me to try to bring a fish like that into the boat. They're just got too much gusto. So I put the rod in the rod holder and I tow them to shore. Now, what can happen is when you're towing them to shore, it starts to get shallow, you start getting into some rocks, and I know everybody wants to think that braid is the cat's meow and very abrasion resistant. Well, it's actually not. You get this braid on a sharp rock, that fish, as I'm towing him in, he gets down into a rock a little bit, and as soon as this braid gets a nick on it, it blows up. It's great stuff. I love it. It works nicely in the weeds, but you get it in the rocks and you get a little nick in it, like I said, it will come apart on you. So with this 8 feet of fluorocarbon, that's great because this stuff is abrasion resistant, and the pike, they don't get through the 100. You can go as light as 80, but 100 somehow just fits right in between your teeth real nicely. But this is what you need. I'm going to show you some bigger lures that I've been using, and this is the kind of outfit you need if you really want to tangle with some of these bigger fish and throw some of these bigger lures or troll some of these bigger lures. this, I can throw this all day long and it's a breeze. This is just like reeling in practically nothing. Try to do this on your typical light spinning equipment and you're not even gonna be able to cast it out. It's gonna put a big bow in your rod and you're done. This is kind of a medium setup here. This is a Loomis rod. It's an old one. I'm thinking about breaking it in half and sending it back in and paying $100 and getting a new one, but it's still a dandy setup. I've got an X-Wrap on it right now for fishing in these weeds. I caught a few small pike with it yesterday. But this is, can't remember, what do I got on this? 30 or 40 pound Power Pro. Handles very nicely. It's a Curado, pretty standard setup. This fills the void between the spinning, light spinning, and the heavier gear. Here I've got a Stratic, Shimano Stratic. This is Suffix, 20 pound test, casts real nicely. This is a Ryan McGill, Eagle Claw, by the way. Captain Blair Wiggins Inshore Slam. It's a saltwater rod, but I'll tell you what, man, it is a sweet rod. I'm not a big Eagle Claw fan, but this is a nice setup. This little popper I have on, when I stopped here, I don't know, it's been 2 weeks ago, there were some big, nice explosions off the point, and I didn't fish for them, but this little popper right here is a dandy. It's a Mega Bass Japanese popper. It's just a sweetheart. You catch a lot of fish, but you have to repent as soon as the first 24-inch pike nips it off, because they're kind of expensive. So you might have some utterances that may not be appropriate. Now here, this is, if you like to troll, this is the way to go, man. I'm telling you. This is a Dakota, Shimano Dakota. It's a small line counter. Most line counters are big. They're targeted at the trout, salmon, the steelhead crew, but this is nice and light. I got it with 20 pound Suffix, and this rod, by the way, is exceptional. It's a Johnny Morse Carbon Light. It's a Bass Pro Shop rod, but notice the eyes. These little micro eyes. They go in your canoe very, very nicely. Now I'm not sure how this rod casts. You're sure not. Right now I do have the same deal as with the big rod. I have, I think, 15 pound test fluorocarbon tied with an FG knot, and the FG knot still goes through these micro guides, which is impressive. But it's light. I can put back a tail dancer at 75 feet. I look on the line counter and I know it's at 20, 25 feet of water. So I mean, that's fantastic, right? This has been the hot bad boy of the trip. Right there, it's a Mega Bass Deep 6. I have caught more if I want to catch a walleye, I put this on. A shore launch is in probably about 20 minutes tops. This really whacked them. This color combination, it's the only one I got. They're pricey, so I thought, I'll try one. So I'm going to get some more of these because they are they're just awesome. They go about 20 feet. I've got a little clip, my little fast snap clip that I like to use, which I think is far superior to split ring. This banged them. It's a very, very good lure. I liked it a lot. Now we'll go through some of the other lures that I brought. This is my fishing vest, tackle, bag. This is usually all I carry, by the way. This thing works great. Orvis makes it. I don't think they make any more. I bought two. It's a Safe Passage Orvis vest. Rides very nicely. These carry a lot. If I want to, I can clip my boga to the D-ring here. Boom. It really is a slick setup. I wish they hadn't discontinued it. But I carry this across with the boat on most trips. It's got a couple of packages here, extra pliers. I brought this pink lady. I think it's called a pink lady. It's a diving aid. When I was on muskellunge lake trout fishing, I had this back with a big Williams spoon or a Nichols flutter spoon, hoping to pop me a big one, but no dice. Well, I shouldn't say that. I caught some little walleye on a lure that's probably half as big as them. It was amazing, out in 100 feet of water. That's another story. Oh, what do we got in here? I haven't even used these, but these are deadly. These are the big flat wraps. Most people haven't seen a flat wrap this size. That's because they're not stocked on any. I found one place in the United States that these are stocked. They were in the muskie section at a Gander Mountain, I think. Yeah, Gander Mountain, right outside of Illinois. But these are awesome. And I don't know why I haven't used them, but I haven't. I had I was going to put these in front of a diving weight, get them down, but you know. This is a butterfly spoon. I bring one every trip and never drop it down. I don't know why, but one of these days it's going to work out for me there. There's that stuff. I had a day off of muskellunge off my front porch. This is not a color I typically use or endorse, but I'll tell you what, man, with the whip finish, cranking this thing through the water off my front porch, you can't really do that out of a canoe very well, but when I was at muskellunge, there's a big flat rock, which I call the front porch, and I was able to whip this thing, and it was one fish after another. It's kind of cool to be able to catch fish right out of camp. This is deadly in the Quetico. I absolutely kill the fish on this thing. It's a Lucky Craft lure. It's not easily found again. It's the TD series. It's 3 shapes and it has a real slinky action. Goes pretty deep. This is deadly in the Quetico. I do very well with that. This is a Cabela's Real Image, kind of like a reef runner. I caught a big lake trout on one of these in the Quetico. My biggest ever, actually, about 15 pounds. It was a nice fish. This tail dancer is what I typically do the walleye in with in the Quetico. It has not produced that well here. Didn't catch that many fish in muskellunge with it. The Deep 6 blew this thing out of the water, but I have done very nicely with this, and the rainbow trout finish is the finish I like the best. Now on to some smaller stuff. Yeah, we're gonna go through all this stuff. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm kind of bored. So here I've got some big swim baits, and I coupled these with these underspin lures. Put that big swim bait out there, put a little super glue, get him right in tight, throw it out. Here's one that's already set up. I was trying to downsize a little bit. That's a good setup. You catch a lot of different kinds of fish. Here's the trailers that I like to use with them. This one was a little loud, I thought, at muskellunge. It seemed too unnatural, so I tried to tone it back down a little bit. Now in these pockets I've got, this is my tie fast tool. If you're trying to tie to something that's got a fairly significant thickness to it, you can do no better than a tie fast with a grip knot. I mean, it's the way to go. If the diameter is small, you can tie just a regular improved clinch or Palomar. That knot works well in that situation. What do I have in here? Anything? Oh, there those are. Now on the other side, this other box, what do we got in here? Savage Gear makes this. It's a little segmented plastic lure. I used it for a little while, smallmouth fishing at Musklau, and I had a little smallmouth followed up and yeah, I don't think so. So I think this might be retired to more saltwater usage. Wasn't too keen on that. We didn't like that at all. It's another little topwater. This is a Lucky Craft. It's a dandy, it's a prop bait. Looks pretty darn good. Again, more tears if the little 20-inch pike takes it away. So they're kind of up there. They're proud of, they're Japanese, man, I'm telling you, proud of what they do, right? Here's some Savage Gear swim baits. These are terrific. They go side to side and tail wobbles. They're great right up till the tail gets snipped off, and then you're out of business. So that's that in this bag. Now I'm going to go through this. Here's one of my watershed duffels. I'm telling you, you can't beat these. You got the cinch straps. You can tighten them down, compact. They're very durable, particularly at the ends. They've got a Ziploc seal, bam. They say, you know, who wants to test, but they say up to, what was it, 10 meters or 30 feet, they're watertight. That's impressive. I love these things. They are terrific. Nice to